All right, Jamie, thanks a lot, man, for taking the time to join me and have this conversation today. I'm grateful you made time to do this. So for the person watching this video, if you could just share your name, where you live at, and then what your farm operation looks like.
All right, I'm Jamie Lannon. I live in South Central Montana, fourth generation rancher. We acquired this place when I was 25. I've been running 20 years, putting out fires and not getting a whole lot accomplished. But we run a small heifer development facility. We run about 75 mother cows, calves, and I do a custom AI business, sell semen, and now we're looking into doing an actual AI school and training people.
Okay. And you, Katrina, have how many kids there?
We have 3 kids. Oldest is 21. I have a senior in high school and a sophomore in high school.
Okay, cool. Well, so you guys have been in Legacy Farmer for quite a while now. So tell me this first, what was not working in life and business prior to joining Legacy Farmer?
Well, as I said, for 20 years, I've been running around the circles, putting out fires, trying to do things the way everybody else has been doing it, not making any money, trying to keep the bank off our back, and just looking for answers. In March, I was done. I was ready to give up. I was ready to quit. I was just done with everything. And Jace kept popping up on Facebook ads. And finally, I sat down one day and actually listened to one, and I took it to my wife. Here's a testimonial. I said, we need to watch this. I want to do it.
Yep.
And that's where we started.
Yeah, perfect. Well, and you talk about putting out fires, kind of spinning your wheels. How many other farmers and ranchers do you think are in the exact same position, Jamie?
Thousands. I mean, I look around our neighborhood, our valley, I see it every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people just trying to figure out what the heck to do and no clarity, and nothing seems to be working, and they work harder and harder, but doesn't result in anything.
Right.
Okay. Well, where were you at kind of personally though? What was not working really personally for Jamie?
Seems like the last 15 years, everything I've done, everything I tried just kicks me in the teeth. I mean, try to do something new, try to expand, try to do anything, and I lost money. I lost everything. My relationship with my wife was going downhill. My kids' attitudes were going downhill, and I was in a tough spot. Yeah. I really was.
Mentally, it just gets heavier and heavier.
It does.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what was the biggest thing that you've noticed change for Jamie and the family and the operation, right? Once you guys came into Legacy Farmer and started getting to work on some things?
Once we started through the first trainings, I think the biggest thing is the relationship with my wife and kids. Okay. Putting them first, putting them, realizing what they mean and what I mean to them. Once I got all the bullshit out of my head, the issues that were holding me back, and through this program, you realize the biggest thing that holds you back is yourself and your mind. Not being able to see outside the box you put yourself in. And once I got through most of that, and I'm still working on it every day, but you start looking around and start seeing what you need to be doing and what is important in life, and everything else just kind of slowly starts falling in place.
Yeah. World kind of starts down.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Good, man. Well, so what's, I guess here too, I want to talk about something else for a minute. A lot of guys, Jamie, you were conditioned the same way I was, where you just give everything to the farm. The farm comes first.
Yep.
Right, it really does. And that's how so many guys operate here, is that they give everything to the farm first. And, like you saying it, the biggest impact I've had so far is just in my family side of my life, because is it true that you recognize that, hey, it doesn't matter what somebody tells me to tactically do inside of business. If the other areas of my life are not on point, I will not do them. I will not succeed in business.
Right. I've started, I don't know how many things in business, and my brain just, you just can't let yourself do it.
Yeah.
If you don't have the support and you don't have the relationship with your wife or even with yourself, You know, I found the biggest thing that with, you know, with my wife last 5, 6 years is I'm not happy with myself. I'm not happy with what I'm doing or what I've become. How can she be happy with me?
Yep. Yep. No, and that's the real stuff there that everybody's facing that nobody's willing to talk about.
Right.
Really, outside of our network anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Jamie, out of all of the things that we do inside of Legacy Farmer, so we got the trainings, got the coaching calls, got the tools and everything that you guys use on a daily basis, got farmer metrics and those things for you guys, and just business organization and structure, like all of those things. Out of everything we do, what would you say is your favorite thing about Legacy Farmer?
No bullshit. You don't sugarcoat anything. You tell it how it is, and we all tell it how it is to each other in this group. I mean, we're not afraid to say, hey, you need to stop and think. Don't sugarcoat it. This whole world and society anymore is so damn worried about hurting somebody's feelings that we walk around in little eggshells.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing, is somebody telling me to wake your ass up and get going. You know, look around.
Well, and even just this, you know, when you said to stop and think about things, like I want the person watching this video to understand how powerful that statement is, because how many of these guys do not stop and consider or think about the decisions that they're making inside of the business, and they're making emotional decisions that are $100,000, $200,000 decisions that they're not even making like a calculated decision on.
Exactly. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars I've lost.
Yeah.
And I actually have an example. It's kind of funny. Yesterday or the day before, Katrina was on, my wife was on the phone, and we've had a messaging service through the local telephone company for years. And it cost us, I don't know, it probably started like $20 a month, but it worked its way up to $40 a month. And we've always kept that recording because our 21-year-old was 3 years old when he said we recorded that recording.
Mm-hmm.
We figured it out. An emotional, because we didn't want to get rid of it. It was an emotional deal. Thought it was cute. That was a neat voice. We figured out it cost us over $8,000 just for a voice message. I mean, it's crazy of the emotional things you do.
And that's such a great example. Yes, it's a smaller thing, but like what you do on the small things, that's exactly how you act with the big decisions too.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just something very little. I mean, that wasn't a business decision at all. It was just an emotional decision. But you calculate it out over 17 years or 18 years, it's like, holy cow.
Yeah, just bleeding money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so let's move into the last and final question. But Jamie, so it's, you know, it's no secret that establishing trust inside of the ag industry and with farmers and ranchers and ag entrepreneurs is very challenging and difficult. So, you know, what's the one thing that you would say to somebody they've come in here, they've listened to the podcast, they've watched the videos, they've watched your testimonial, but they're still just sitting on the fence wondering whether or not Legacy Farmer is for them? What is the one thing that you would say to that person?
You know, everything that I've read and listened to on your testimonials and what you're trying to do, it hit home with me. And that voice in the back of my head has said, this is the right step. And once we jumped in and actually visited with you and saw that you're out here to help us, and that's your main goal, is to help farmers and ranchers. I never had a doubt in my mind once I listened to a couple, but I know there's a lot of people that have. It took them, you know, some people almost a year to do it, but it's worth every penny. I mean, once we sat down and had a conversation, and once I get to know you and the program more, you know, everybody keeps saying it's like you're in the back seat of our pickup when we're going down the road. And everybody in this group, it amazes me on the Zoom meetings every week, we're all thinking the same thing. You know, we all have different view of it, but we're all in the same boat here. And the connections that having somebody else to talk to is unreal, because you're not going to talk to your neighbor about the shit we talk about. You're not going to talk to your uncle or your dad, because it just doesn't work.
Yep.
But other people in your same position, you know, with a wife and kids and family, it all just clicks together, and it's worth it.
Yep. Okay. Good stuff. Well, yeah, that's the thing, man, is there's not too many people, nobody, no other business, no other organization has really tried to do what we're doing here. And that's what makes it worth everything to me. And that's also what keeps me driving every day is our weekly conversations on that call, man, having 30 to 50 to 60 guys on there and ready to roll and talking about real stuff that nobody else is talking about. That's the stuff that drives me.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Jamie, thanks a lot for taking the time to do this with me today, man.
No problem. Thanks for doing it.